Hello YouTube and welcome back to another 3D Rust tutorial. In this video I'll be showing you how to bake high and low poly models using Maya and Substance Painter. So high and low poly models can be used to bake intricate detail and make edges look smoother than they actually are. So an example I've got here is this hand grenade I made. So this stick grenade, as you can see here, we don't have many polys at all. However, these faces look really smooth, and that's because I created a high poly mesh and a low poly mesh. So the low poly mesh will be used finally in game, but the high poly mesh will be used to bake the detail to make edges look smoother. So I'm going to put together a quick example for you here. So if we had a cube, this will be our low poly mesh. So I'm just going to name this cube cube_LP for low poly. And then I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to name the other one cube_HP for high poly. I'm just going to create a layer for each. So this will be our high poly layer. Hide that for now, and this shall be our low poly layer. So now we've got that sorted, we can work on our high poly. So we're just going to have a cube, but we're going to do intricate details on this cube. So if I just add some subdivisions to this cube, these subdivisions will not be in the final mesh, however they will help define our smooth edges and create extra detail that's going to be baked into the normal map texture. So if we just add some edge loops here, and I'm just going to take one of the faces. The reason I'm adding the edge loops here is so when we smooth the object we get smooth edges. I like doing this rather than bevels, as it gives me extra control on how far the edge is smooth after we've created it, unlike bevel where you have to go back over on yourself. So now we've got them edges, I'm just going to start editing a face. So I'm just going to hit extrude on this and increase the offset. I'm just going to do another one just to add a bit of padding. And then I'm going to divide the face. I'm holding shift right click. I'm going to add divisions to face, shift right click again, and circularize component. I'm just going to scale this down a bit. So now we've got a sphere section. So if I hit 3, preview smooth, that looks okay for the purposes of this tutorial. So I'm just going to select this circular area, just going to extrude it in, hit 3 to see what it'll look like. And we've got a nice indent there. So now this will be our high poly. This is the detail we're going to bake in. So now if I go back to our layers, hide the high poly and show the low poly, we're going to make changes to the low poly. So if there's a 90-degree angle on the low poly, you're going to want hard edges. In our case, these are all hard edges because they're all 90 degrees. But if not, you'd go to edge mode, you go to mesh display, and you do soft edge or hard edge. But all of my edges are hard. So I can either select all my edges or just with the object selected and hold shift right click, hard soft edges, hard edges, or I can go to mesh display hard edges, and that'll just make all these hard edges. And also if you have a hard edge, meaning a 90-degree angle, you're going to want that as a separate UV. So the reason we'll have separate UV face is because we'll get strange results when we try and bake the mesh. So all I'm going to do is automatic map this and just make sure the faces aren't touching in the UVs. So now we've got that down, that's our low poly finished. So we can just export this out, file export. I'm just going to call this cube_LP. you want to make smoother groups is selected as well. Export that out, and then I'm going to go to my high poly and turn off previous smooth, and I'm going to smooth it by going to mesh smooth. Just going to increase the divisions a little bit. You don't want to increase it too much or your bake time will be too long. I'm going to export the selection here again. I'm going to call this cube underscore HP. So now we have that, we can go to Substance Painter. So File, New, select the file, select our low poly, and just go hit OK. Now we've got our low poly cube in Substance Painter. It's just a cube. We don't have our detail on yet. So you want to go to Texture Set Settings and Bake Maps. And then under the Common section, go to High Definition Meshes and select this little paper note document here. And then you want to find your high poly mesh. And now we want to go down, and where it says poly mesh suffix, we'll want to do underscore HP for the high poly and underscore LP, as we named them cubes underscore HP and cube underscore LP. It's important that the names are the same. And then we want to do match by mesh. However, it's okay to keep it on always. Match by mesh, I'll just do it if the mesh names are the same. I'm going to go with output size 1024, and I'm just going to bake the maps. It's also important to note that the high poly and the low poly must have the same material applied. And now that's baked, we have our nice little normal information baked in from our high poly. And now you just go ahead and add textures like you would normally inside Substance Painter, and there we go. And as you can see, if you mess around with the different settings like the ambient occlusion and normal settings for the masks, you'll be able to get some nice results. As you can see here, we've got the corroded metal around the outside areas. But if you go into the settings and the mask editor, you'll be able to change all the things like that, so and add more information in regards to there. So yeah, that's how you bake high poly and low poly. This was a really simple example, but hopefully you take away the knowledge that I've shown you today and you'll create something awesome. So thank you for watching. This has been 3D Ross. If you like this video, give it a like. If you disliked it, dislike it. And subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.